What's up, everybody? This is Dan Latrella from Danny's Playbook. I got a special guest today, Gina Williams from Preston Gray. So today is our first live, and we just kind of wanted to introduce you guys to Gina and get to know Gina a little bit better.
I'm the guinea pig.
So she is the guinea pig, which I'm very excited. And if anyone has any comments, throw some comments down. We'll try to answer questions the best of our ability. But my goal today, guys, is Gina's in real estate, and I want you guys to get to know her and know her story and kind of go from there. So Gina, real quick, obviously it's Super Bowl Sunday. Before we get into all the stuff about you, are you a fan of either team playing this week?
So I have no loyalty to either team. I'm wishing Tom Brady was playing. I have to say I've lost interest a little now. Who am I going to look at? I mean,
that's true. Now, question: are you an actual Patriots fan? Are you a Bucs fan?
Look, I'm going to go and I'm going to root for Cincinnati.
Okay.
I just am. And I can't really give you a good reason why.
Nothing wrong with that. So I'm actually hoping for Cincinnati as well. I'm really hoping my Super Bowl boxes hit. But I like the Joe Burrow story, so I like that. That's very exciting. I'm a Giants fan, as you guys can tell.
I can
see. We're not too good. So tell us a little about yourself, Gina. Are you married?
I am married. I have been married since 2007.
Okay. Nice. What's your husband's name?
My husband's name is Jason. He is an award-winning landscape architect, so I have to give him some kudos.
Very nice. Very nice.
He works for an engineering company in Cheshire, but he's very involved in downtown Shelton revitalization. He's done a couple plans.
Very awesome. So do you live in Shelton?
I live in Shelton. I live right in Huntington Center. So I'm born and raised in Norwalk.
Okay.
We bought a house here in Shelton in 2004, so I've been here ever since. I actually live almost right across the street from the Preston Gray office. So
very nice.
Very, very nice.
So, not to get on the business just yet, but question, what was the reason why you chose Preston Gray? Was it because you're from Shelton, or?
Oh, this is kind of a packed story. So,
all right, we're here.
I obviously just got into real estate a couple years ago.
Okay.
I had a corporate job working for News Corp.
Okay.
Before, I worked there for 21 years.
What did you do for them?
So I was a senior director in operations.
Okay.
So let's say 2 weeks after I graduated from UConn Stores, I got my first job there.
Very nice.
And I just was eager and motivated and climbed the corporate ladder. And then once I did that, I realized how unhappy and miserable I was.
Okay.
So for the last 3 to 5 years, I was thinking about getting into real estate, which was nothing like it is right now.
Yeah.
I had no idea this market was going to happen. Who did, right?
It's true. It's very true.
So I quit my job on September 27th in 2019.
Very nice.
I started real estate school in November.
Okay.
I passed my test on February 5th, and I was sitting in Marissa's office on February 6th.
Okay.
However, I did not think I was coming to Preston Gray.
Okay.
I interviewed a couple different brokers. I thought I was going somewhere else, which I won't mention.
Okay.
And then I started seeing Preston Gray's marketing on the socials. I was like, who is Preston Gray and who is Marissa Pava? So I sort of started stalking her.
That's right. We won't tell her. We won't tell her. Don't worry.
And I was like, I have to meet this woman.
Yep.
I have to meet this woman. I'm all about women power, I'm all about it,
nice.
And she obviously has done it so well for herself. So I went and met with her, and it just clicked.
Okay.
And I was like, I found my home.
Awesome.
And I never regretted it.
Very good. So she kind of like a mentor to you? Does she help you
God,
guys in the office?
She is a great friend.
That's always
has
good.
become one.
Okay.
I admire her tremendously, and she's taught me everything I know.
That's awesome. So I know she's pretty up there in Shelton, and your office is one of the top ranked offices in Shelton.
Yes, we are.
So that's very awesome.
Yes, we are.
Very nice, very nice. Now, any children? I know it must be tough if you do,
yes.
trying to manage this job and having kids.
So I have a 9-year-old and I have a 13-year-old. Shelton Public School System.
Yeah.
They're great kids. I want to kill my 13-year-old because she's a girl and she's 13 and she's not the nicest person in the world.
Too cool for mom?
So, I do want to kill her on a regular basis.
But you love her.
I love her. She's a good kid. She's state champ for gymnastics, so
very nice.
Straight A's. I mean, I can't complain. It's just her attitude. Wish I could just,
Now, does she get that from you or get it from your husband?
I think unfortunately it's from me.
Okay, so it comes around, goes around.
That's what my mom said. My mom
Okay.
said, when you have a kid, I hope it's a daughter and that she's 100 times worse than you.
Yeah.
And it actually happened. It happened.
It's all right. Listen, I have 2 boys and I love them to death. They drive me crazy, but
Boys are different though.
okay.
Like you're probably like high level energy, right?
Yeah.
Girls are just more dramatic.
My boys are a little
Okay.
dramatic too, so I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just, Now, so your oldest does gymnastics,
Mm-hmm.
and now does your youngest, boy or girl? I'm not sure.
Girl.
We went to 2 girls.
I have a winter lily and I have an autumn river.
Okay, I
My
like it.
husband's a little bit of a hippie.
Yeah. Sounds like 2
know.
girl books you would read in the store, right? That's cool.
They hate their names though.
That's
Every
all
day
right.
they're like, why didn't you name us something else?
Tell them they can always change it when they're 18. Yeah, no, I have 3 L's. My wife wanted 3 L's. So I have Leighton
Okay.
Luciano, Leighton Luciano Latrella, and then I have Landon Luigi Latrella.
Okay.
So yeah, so triple L, I guess you could say.
Oh, the whole Italian thing going.
Yes, even though they don't really look Italian, but yes, they look more like my wife.
Listen, I'm a Gina Francesca Battaglia.
Okay. That's
Originally.
a little Italian. See that? Very nice. Now, is your husband Italian?
No.
What is
He's
your husband?
Norwegian.
Okay.
Yeah, not Italian at all.
All right. Nice.
So he's like blonde and blue-eyed and fair, but so is my mother. She's like a northern Italian.
Okay.
So I have a dark-haired one
Yep.
and a blonde one.
I have the same thing because when I had hair, I had dark hair, and my wife's a blonde. So my little one's got dark hair, looks like me, and then my oldest looks like my wife. So yeah, there you go.
Same here.
Yep.
Not a compromise. One looks exactly like me, one looks exactly like my husband. Weird
Right.
how that happens, right?
It's all right. So real quick, I saw recently, you said you've only been in real estate for a couple of years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I did see you won Realtor of the Year for Preston Gray.
I did. I hustled. I
Okay.
hustled and was like a sponge around Marissa.
That's awesome.
So I think that definitely being in her sphere definitely catapulted me forward.
So you guys have a good mentor program over there? Or a lot of people just follow the march of...
Like, I think we have a great mentor program. I think if you come into the office, there's like a handful of us who are there every day and just listening to other agents talk real estate is mentoring.
So as a whole, the office, I think it's more women than men. Everyone gets along pretty well.
Everyone gets along great. I
That is-
can't complain. And I came from like a pretty toxic environment, corporate. So
Yeah, corporate's not easy.
that's one of the things I loved about Preston Gray. It's like not corporate.
That's
I
awesome.
love being part of a boutique, brokerage.
Okay. Now, does your husband going from corporate America 9 to 5, how does he like the schedule now in real estate? Because I know it's crazy.
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm working any less hard,
Yep.
but I'm working differently.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So I can be picking my kids up and bringing them through gymnastics and taking 4 calls while I'm in the car or running in between showings.
Okay.
It's just different. Granted, the weekends are tough because you're working.
Yep.
But I'm definitely like around to put my kids on the bus or take them to school, which I was never around before.
Yeah,
Ever.
of course.
I never saw them before.
Yeah.
So I see them differently now.
Okay.
So it's just, I'm not sitting in the car for 2 hours commuting
Yep.
to an office every day.
Okay.
Same thing on the way home. Because I was like commuting to Wilton, Connecticut and New York City for 20 plus years.
Yeah, that's tough because you're at 4 hours in the car every day. That's 4
There
hours.
was no
losing
working
life.
from home.
Yeah.
And taking a 7:04 out of Stratford train to NYC is no joke.
Yeah. So what you so when you would leave basically your house at what, like 6:30?
Yep.
You would get home at what time?
It depended on fighting with my husband literally every day on who was going to pick up because we both had these really demanding jobs. So it was always like, well, I picked up yesterday. Like, I can't leave work at 5 today.
So now being in real estate, right, because you only make as hard as you work, it's all commission. Tell us like what a typical day in the real estate world works for you. Like a typical day getting the kids ready and...
I get the kids out of the house.
Yep.
Put myself together. I go into the office because that just keeps me motivated, keeps me on track, keeps me focused, on point. Doing a lot of follow-up, just really staying in the know on stats.
Okay.
I think any successful agent needs to be completely wrapped into what our house is closing for versus what they were sold for. Just having a really good pulse on what's going on. Because you can't be successful winning offers in this market without knowing that.
So I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of, obviously I'm in the mortgage business. People say real estate's easy in this market. Anyone can do it, right?
I wish it was easy, okay? I wish it was easy. It's really tough for buyers right now. The market's really, really hot.
Okay.
The seller's market.
Yep.
If you're selling, you are on the great end of this whole thing.
So real quick, because maybe we have some viewers that don't get what a seller's market is. So in your opinion, or what do you think a seller's market is so they understand?
A seller's market is, the seller is in control. They're getting top dollar for their home over asking. They're getting the fewest contingencies.
Yep.
They're actually able to select the best offer in terms of price and terms.
Yep.
Where, in a buyer's market, a seller really has to take whatever they can get, and the buyer's in control.
Okay.
Sellers are able to get offers like waiving inspections and appraisal. That's ridiculously unheard of,
It's true, but you got to do what you got to do. So being someone that's so successful, who's had an amazing start to their real estate career, do you have any advice for anyone that's potentially looking for a home, or any advice or any strategies you could maybe give someone who's considering buying a home in the next few months, or they're looking to sell and buy? It's your world. Describe either one. Just would love to hear from you.
I think a lot of buyers don't really understand it until they live it.
Okay.
And I think you have to listen to your agent.
Okay.
Your agent is the expert, and you have to take their advice.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it's not always going to be to the benefit of the buyer.
Yep.
Because you have to do what you have to do.
Correct.
If you want to buy a house in this market.
Yeah.
So listen to your agent, make sure your agent is selling and knows the market.
So question, obviously a lot of buyers like to go on the internet, they go on Zillow, they go on Redfin. So obviously we all deserve to eat, we all deserve to start a new career, and obviously you were there a couple of years ago. Do you think sometimes, and I see it in the mortgage business, that you should try to establish a relationship with your realtor so you can hopefully trust them, or do you think they should just get any random person and just go buy a house?
I think it is a short-lived relationship, but it's so intense in that period of time. And I think it's so important that you are with someone that you click with, that you trust, and who also has a great team behind them. Because it doesn't just take a good agent. It takes a really great, solid lender. It takes having a good attorney. Someone who has good relationships is really powerful.
No, and as you can tell, I love sports, and I talk about that all the time. I do my videos. I think what made Tom Brady or any successful team so good is about their team, right? Because
100%.
You could be the best realtor, but if you're using some online lender or some attorney who doesn't really do closings, do you think that could affect someone's offer in this market?
I think not having a reputable local lender like yourself 100% affects not getting your offer accepted.
Okay.
Absolutely. Who the attorney is more of like just having a seamless transaction once you get the offer accepted.
Okay.
Just with follow-up and all of that stuff.
Okay.
But I think a lender is really important.
Okay.
And I think having a local one who understands what's going on in the market where you're actually buying a house is pivotal in you getting an offer accepted. I can't stress that enough. Because think about it. If you have 5 offers on your home, right? And one of them is from an online company out of state. One of them's with like a big bank, I won't name any names, and one's with like a Fairway, your list agent is going to know the process is going to be seamless. They know that they're going to get communication back and forth. And the willingness to problem solve, and you're not bounced around between 5 different people. It makes such a difference. So obviously your seller decides what offer they're going to take.
Correct.
You can only advise. But if I had 3 identical offers, a lot of times it comes down to the lender for sure.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I always like to ask, because obviously someone so successful like yourself, who's doing great, there's so many new buyers out there, or people that are buying and selling that haven't sold a house in 20 years and don't really understand. So I got a question for you. I get this all the time in the mortgage business. Hey, Dan, I'm not going to list my house, even though I have to sell my house in order to buy another home. I'm not going to list my house till I find my dream home. What advice would you give someone like that?
Well, I think because sellers have so much control, and the power in this market that there are buyers who are willing to wait.
Yep.
So you can always say, okay, I'm selling my house, I'm putting it on the market, but I'm not going to close until I find something suitable for me to live in.
So now, question: as someone like yourself, in your opinion, and it's me as a mortgage guy, and I'm not telling you guys to do you see anything wrong when someone lists their house and it pretty much says have to find suitable housing? Will people still buy that house?
In this market, absolutely. People have been trying to buy a house for now 2 years and have been unsuccessful.
Yeah.
I know some people who are like 20 offers deep.
Yeah.
And they just, there's just so much competition
Yep.
on that house
Yep.
that
Yep.
what's waiting another 3 months or 4 months when you've already been at this for 2 years or a year, right?
No, and that's when you talk about team. And again, I try to help and stay local with the realtors I work with. And a lot of times I tell people, because I talk to people every day like yourself, and they're so scared to list their house. And I try to explain to them, I said, look, your agent can always do suitable housing. Now, some agents say, well, that's not good. I just think if you were listing a home, this house is already listed, it's already under contract, the appraisal's done, inspection's done. They're pretty much not clear to close, but they're already down that road. That offer, if they're buying another home, is probably a lot better than someone who hasn't listed their house yet.
If you haven't even listed your house and you have a Hubbard, and you haven't even listed your house or have it under contract, you don't stand a chance.
Okay.
You don't stand a chance.
Okay.
So listing your house, having it under contract, and not only under contract, but so far along in the process where you've had the appraisal ordered, you've done the inspections, really it's that buyer's bank is just waiting on you.
Yeah.
Right? So it's already a done deal.
Okay.
If your offer's aggressive in your...
By aggressive, what do we mean by aggressive? What's aggressive in your opinion?
I wish I could say things so hard for, I think, buyers to understand that you can't negotiate price. Things are not going for under asking.
Okay, exactly.
Things are not even going for asking.
Okay.
And Shelton houses are going for like 50,000 over.
Yeah.
Well, not just Shelton, but even all the surrounding towns. It's really hard to get to that point where you're like, oh, I get it. And sometimes you have to live through quite a few denials and rejections until you get to that realization.
Okay.
But that's why I'm saying trust your agent.
Cool. So now, do you, like a lot of people in this world think that aren't in real estate, think the market is going to crash this year? What is your personal opinion?
I don't think the market's going to crash. I think that it's totally different than what happened in like 08, 09.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of predatory lending going on.
There was. People
got mortgages that had no business getting mortgages. I probably was included in that batch.
Okay.
I
didn't do a mortgage, so I didn't do your loan.
But I think people who are getting approved for financing in this day and age, and you would know more than anybody, it's really not that easy. It's very difficult, and you really have to, you're really vetting that person out. So I think it's different because people who can afford to buy houses now, can actually, they've been vetted, they can afford it, they have good solid jobs, and even if they waited a year, the interest rates are going to go up. I don't think prices are going to come down that much.
So what do you and Preston Gray think as a whole? What are you hearing from the people you follow? Do they think the market's going to go up more this year or go down?
I think we have an inventory shortage. That's the biggest problem we're facing right now. Supply and demand, right? There's no homes. So even though interest rates are going up, but think about it, a 4% interest rate is so phenomenal.
People don't realize, honestly, 3 years ago, almost to the day, the average rate was 4.25. We've been so blessed the last, 24 months. It's over though, right?
It's never even been there. It's never existed.
And the thing people don't realize, history always repeats itself. So even if you get a 4% high rate, rates can always go down in the future. I know people's biggest scare is they think, well, if we buy this year, the market's going to drop 20% next year. I don't see that. A lot of people I follow say that they think the market's going to go up 5 to 7%.
But let's pretend it did drop by 20%, right? So let's say you bought a house was worth $450 today. At 3.75.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll use it.
Right? And then a year later, the house is $50,000 less. And the rate's
Gonna quarter 4.5.
Or go up a half a point, whatever. your mortgage payment's actually going to be more money.
I know.
Even though the house value was less that you purchased it for.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that is really important for people to understand.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's good. I mean, I was in the business when the crash happened, and people don't realize back then, I mean, people were getting 9%, 11% interest rates. Everything was adjustable, where after 2 years, your rate skyrocketed. Now, no one does.
Or you pay interest only for like 2 years or whatever.
So the problem was when the houses dropped, people had no choice but to walk away. Now, like you said, what did people got in the last years? 2%, 2.5%, 3%, 3.25%.
That's why people aren't selling too.
Yeah.
They're in such a good rate that they refinanced into.
Yeah.
That they feel like, why should I sell?
Yeah. It's true, but like I said, I've been doing it 17 years, and what comes up must go down. And vice versa.
You're never going to get as much for your house as you are right now. And I don't mean like this month. I mean, I think this is going to continue. For the rest of the year, we're not going to see any changes.
No,
And there's no way it's going to just plummet downward in 2023.
Yeah, I mean, I think the work economy is doing pretty good. I think, again, you know, people aren't in these crazy mortgages anymore. We're way more educated than we were.
It's totally different. It's a totally different thing.
So
you can't even compare.
Yeah. No, 100%. And that's why, like I said, I want to bring you in. I want people just to understand the market, because so many people think, well, I'm going to wait one more year and my house is I'm going to get $50,000 less. But again, if the rates go up, you're actually going to pay more.
I mean, if you are thinking about selling in the now in 5 years, sell now.
Yes, because you can still buy high, sell high.
It's all relative.
It's all relative. You're going to put down a large down payment.
Yes.
Cool. So now, question. So now, if people want to reach you, Gina, first of all, where's your office located? How can they reach Gina?
I am at Preston Gray Real Estate. I am right in Shelton, Huntington Center.
Okay.
Right upstairs from Jonathan Wetmore, the attorney.
Okay.
And there's like the frame store promoting local business.
Cool.
We're right, hop, skip, and a jump from you, actually.
Yeah, we are. We're about 50 so yards away.
Not very far.
Yes. So no, I mean, I really appreciate having you today, guys.
Thank you for having me. Got to have a drink.
Yeah, got to hang out. I mean, I'm just what I said, guys. Every week we're gonna bring in a new real estate agent just to get their story. I just really want people to know you. Who's Gina Williams, right? Because so many deals, like you said, we're best friends for 30 days with a borrower, but they don't know you have kids. They don't know you're an actual human being, right?
Absolutely.
They don't realize that you're married, and I want people to know people's life, who they work with. So no, I really appreciate having you, and congratulations on all your awards.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I know Preston Gray's killing it, so keep it up.
We are killing it.
And we will see you guys next week, guys. We really appreciate you guys viewing in. We didn't really get many questions. If you do have some, me or Gina will reach out to you guys. Talk soon and have a great day. Bye, guys.